just honestly, and it sounds kind of like hedonistic, but like that I enjoyed it. Like that I feel like that's my only thing. Like I spent good time with good people and and experienced it, ate good food, visited good places. Like yeah, I feel like as I've got older, that is my only priority. And so and I love like I'm lucky that I work in the creative industry and I love my job, but I think that the thing that gives me the most satisfaction is living. Like it's yeah. I'm interested to turn that around to both of you. Like how would you answer that?
Oof. Oof. All
Yeah.
right, all right. Oh, how the turntables. Uh, I think for myself,
With our many years of experience.
yes, my many
But it's an
question. Yeah,
interesting question because it would be interesting to revisit it in 10 years, the same
yeah,
question.
absolutely. I mean, I think currently, it's definitely changed a lot over the past few years. I think, I think I would like to look back and just know that I've like I really want to look and see like my family, and like yeah, see like maybe my grandkids and that kind of stuff, and just like the family that I've like helped support and bring up, and um, I think that means a lot to me. Uh,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, I mean, if we're gonna connect it to work at all, I mean, I'd just love to look back and know that my work had an impact on people, um, and hopefully help people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of more on your side, Hugh, where it's definitely like life is there to be lived, and it's like you want to experience the things that you want to experience. So it's like if you want something, just go do it, and it's like there's no
Yeah.
reason to wait. There's no reason to kind of. It's like just go. Yeah, it's like because you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow, right? And like I think the one reason why like because we initially started in photography and I feel like video takes the same realm for me, but when it comes to photography, the reason why I liked it so much and the reason why I still love it is the fact that every single image that you ever take has a story. You can look at every single photo that you've ever taken, and to everybody else, it's like, oh yeah, this is just a picture of the ocean. But you're like, but yeah, like that day I surfed and it was really warm, and I had this beer and I was doing this and that, and the surfboard broke. It's like nobody else knows that but you, and I think that's the coolest thing about their job is the fact that you can look back at every single picture project that you've ever worked on, and every single one of them has a story. Um, but yeah, just to go back, it's like I feel like I think my favorite thing, other than living life to the fullest, hopefully, is also be able to share that with other people and be able to bring people together and be able to show people that it's like things like for example, even for me and Ben, it's like we dropped out of school, we started a company. It's like that like most people would not do that because they're either scared or well, yeah, actually scared of failure, right? And I think the biggest
Yeah.
thing that I've been learning over the last few years is the fact that failure is not really, it's very arbitrary, right? It's like I know my partner kind of said something a few days ago. She was like, do you know how people look at failure in San Francisco when it comes to like tech companies? They just view it as, oh, like I just learned something new. Let me just apply it to the next job. Let's move on. And I feel like that's the best thing. That's the best way to apply that to life. It's like there is no such thing as failure. It's like literally worst case, if tomorrow all of our clients left us and me and Ben are not friends anymore, it's like worst case scenario. It's like I'll be fine. I'll go find something else. I'll go do something else. Like this is
Yeah.
like nothing is set in stone. It's just about having fun with what you do.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
quote? It's like uh, I haven't failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that don't work.
I think it was Thomas
Yeah,
Edison.
that's so true.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, that
But yeah, no, that is so true. It's such a good way to look at it because I think unfortunately so many people look at it at life as like you have to succeed in a certain way, and that yeah, failure is not a good
and
thing.
as you mentioned,
And so then they're scared, and so they stay doing things that don't really do anything.
And as you mentioned, dude, it's like for a lot of people, it's all about like money and showcasing things, and you know, like the usual. It's like like family, health, all that stuff. It's like
Bugattis.
yeah. It's but I think like the main thing that people, I think the main thing that people just forget about is the fact that like none of that stuff. Like most things at the end of the day don't matter if you're not happy. It's like you could have a great family, you could have a great job, but it's like if you're not happy and not doing things you like, if you're there like regretting not going on a trip, it's like nothing else really matters, right? It's at the end of the day, it's like you have to be selfish to enjoy life.
I disagree with that.
Totally.
I disagree with that. I think it's the opposite. I think you need to have. I think people are very unfulfilled without a good family, and I think if you're very selfish in what you do, then when you look back and you're alone on your deathbed with no loved ones around you, then you're not going to look back and think good of your life.
Well, I mean, like selfish in a way where you're not giving. It's not like you're hating on other people. It's like you want to make sure that you're happy. It doesn't mean that other people are unhappy.
Yeah, but also going back to that, I think that your family is not necessarily just blood ties.
No, that's I just meant in general, like not having a group of people around you that like love and care about you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
no, and I agree with that. Like I feel like life is so much about what you give to the people around you and what they give to you. Is that kind of like life is about relationships.
Yeah. That was
sure.
Sorry, I think I misspoke there. It's just having people around you who you can love and cherish and support, I think is much more valuable than going on a trip to Spain or something like that.
Yeah. But if you go on that trip to Spain with the people you love,
that's the killer combo right there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the other thing is when I was younger, I used to travel a lot by myself, and I feel like travel with people you love is like. So this time in Costa Rica, there was like we had a group of 8 friends down there who like we usually hang out with, and I feel like that like traveling with people you love and enjoy the company is like.
Oh, it makes such a difference, and I feel like I don't know if it's the same thing for you actually, but both for me and Ben, it's like especially over the last little bit, it's like once we traveled Europe, it's like it's like not like we've seen the entire world, but it's like you've seen a lot of things, right? And at that point, it's not really about the places that you go, but it's about the people that you spend time with. It's like you could go like we were in Hawaii and we were like, it's like it's okay, but it's like it's cool and everything, but it's like it's about the things that you do with the people that you meet. It's not really about the actual place anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's about
100%.
I mean, like if, for example, we did this crazy hike in Hawaii that like nearly killed us in like 5 different ways, and
the hike with stairs. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's like the hike, which I think
it's closed now.
I think now it's like well, it technically was closed. I think it was like a $5,000 fine if they catch you. So it was like already illegal to do.
But I think they took the stairs down now.
I think so
is
too.
what they did. Anyway, regardless, like it wouldn't be nearly as memorable if we hadn't done it together and shared that experience together. Because you wouldn't be able to kind of like if you can't share in the experience, then there's no like I don't know. It just feels a lot emptier.
Yeah, and looping it all the way back around. That is my job. Is I get to show people them sharing the experience,
which is like
because basically that's what I'm delivering is like intimate emotional moments, and that's what I'm always aiming for. Most of my work is showing intimate emotional moments between people, and that is honestly is the key to life, and that's why I think that's the reason why I love my job so much is that's basically what I do is I show people how they feel about each other. So
to wrap things up, I think what I'd like to ask is we typically ask all of our guests is what advice would you give to someone who's looking to pursue a creative career and live their life on their own terms, but don't really know where to start?
Other than buying 7 surfboards. Because that's the start. It's like if you wanted to get into creative career, it's like at least like 5 is the minimum.
Oh my
god. The number one thing is persist. I think is the only thing, and I mean it goes back to the failure thing. I think when yeah, if you want to do something, then like just keep persisting. And I feel the things like the skills, and I feel like this is key for you, for who you two are, and how like I've seen how you've described what you've done, is that you don't necessarily need the skills. You don't to start off with. You don't really need anything. The only thing you need is the key to like persisting. And I feel that that's what you did. It's like for those early jobs, you're like, well, we don't really know what we're doing here, but we're going to do this, and then from that you learn the skills. But if you had taken that first one and not persisted, then you wouldn't now be where you are now. And that's exactly same with my career. Like there's been times when it could have been so easy for me to be like, this just isn't working. I'm not gonna keep doing this. But and even like the move out here, like it's just like, every day, like keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, and then you will like everything else will just fall into place. Um, yeah, so that would be my number one piece of advice: never give up.
What inspired you to be persistent? Like why? Because a lot of people are not, and that's where I mean, again, as you mentioned, it's like that is so important because if you don't have if you do something for 50 years, I'm assuming at the end of the day you're probably gonna succeed. But it's like why
Exactly.
did you
Yeah.
persist? Because I know a lot of people kind of that's where they draw the line.
Simply because I can't work for anyone else. Like I'm so bad at being an employee, and I love what I do, and I also want to like live my life on my terms. And so for me, there isn't another option. Like I feel like if this doesn't, uh, did you hear my cats
No,
fighting?
No, no.
Oh, amazing. Um, they just ran in the room and like jumped right
that's
into the
hilarious.
Um, yeah, no, I feel like where was I? Don't remember that train of thought. But yeah, no, I like I have to work for myself. So if in the future that like wedding photography is no longer working for me, then I will like I feel like I'm always just going to persist and make it work because it just has to. Like there isn't, and I'm not a particularly driven person. I wouldn't say that I'm goal motivated, apart from the fact that I want to live my life on my terms, and I want to do this job. So it's just there is no other option.